Well, good evening, Charlie. Why don't you tell the good folks what we have before us tonight? Looks like a gift bag.
It does. It not only does it look like a gift bag, it is a gift bag, and under that gift bag is a bottle of bourbon, and we're going to drink it, and Glenn's going to drink it, and we're not telling him what it is.
Oh,
these are called
suspicion
blinds, and let's see if Glenn can figure it out.
Let's do it. All right, Charlie, so you have a blind for me tonight.
Yep.
So you know what it is? I don't.
Yeah, so let's show you what it is. No, that's not how blinds work. We recently have done a couple more blinds, and we famously did one. We famously did one which absolutely shattered our preconceived notions of what we had really hyped up was, oh, these are our best. And you guys liked it. And it's funny because every time we've done blinds right up to that, nobody watched them. But that one, you guys liked. And you said, hey, more blinds. So here's another blind.
There you go, more blinds.
Here you go. There you do. Quit playing with your microphone. So let's get into it. Here is,
yes, sir.
It is, I will tell Glenn this. Tonight's mystery bottle is a bourbon.
Okay. Well, thank you for that information.
So take it away, Mr. Hawkersmith.
It's a nice honey color, not super dark.
It's a wonderful.
Sticks to the glass really well. I like the color.
Okay. Now, what do you think that is based on color?
This is 11 years.
If you get it, I'm going to lose it.
No, I have no idea.
Yeah, get into it. Keep going. I'm not talking. I'm just enjoying.
Ooh, I like the nose.
Wow.
That's a very, it's very familiar. It almost gives me a little Wild Turkey vibes.
Okay.
I don't know if that's because I just happened to see a Wild Turkey bottle sitting.
Do you want to elaborate on the nose and tell them what your nose in here?
Well, it's got that cola, like Dr. Pepper.
That sweetness, yeah,
sweetness
sugar
to
sweet.
it. A little bit of brown sugar.
Okay, I'll go with you. Yeah. I get all of that. I instantly got where it's that sweet and that tingle of almost like
effervescence.
Like an effervescence, like carbonation, and really pleasing nose. I mean, it's very nice, very classic bourbon.
Very classic bourbon. I wanted to say that right off the bat, and I thought we say that.
We do say that a lot.
People are probably like, "Duh, it's bourbon."
Yeah, but continue. Go ahead.
It's got a little funk on it. A little bit of a hint of a funk on it.
Yep. Okay.
That I can't really describe.
All right.
A little baking spice. I don't know. Let's get into it. Let's taste it.
Here's the blinds.
Cheers. I don't think that's very high proof, but it's got a nice, like a nice bite to it. And it really hits the roof of your mouth and the middle of your tongue. I guess that's the oak. I don't know. I don't want to say it doesn't really taste like rye spice.
Okay. Give us some flavors here. Come on. What you tasting?
The sweetness from the nose follows through on the palate.
Okay.
A little bit of, not so much your classic bourbon profile on the palate. Like I'm not getting a lot of brown sugar or like deep caramels or anything on the palate. Maybe a little bit of vanilla.
Go on one more time. Let
me go back in.
Obviously, I know what this is. I do get on second drink especially. It is not overly complex. I will give you that. You get some sweetness up front. You get a little bit of that kind of pop, maybe fizzle, like not spice, but a little pop and fizzle on the roof of your mouth, middle of your tongue. It does on the second drink have a really, really nice oaky finish that just kind of, I mean, it sits. To your point, I think we will both agree this is not a super high proof bourbon.
No, I don't think, is it? Is it a wheated bourbon? Could it be a wheated bourbon?
I'm not saying anything, but I will tell you it has a lot of oak character in really nice sippable way on that finish.
Yeah, there's a lot of oak, but the oak doesn't come through like it normally does for me as far as like that bitter chocolate. There's, like you can taste the oak. I think that's where that bite is coming from.
That almost a dryness.
Yeah, but it doesn't show up with that like semi-sweet chocolate. What's the other note that I always get from a really oaky bourbon?
I don't know. I don't know.
It's really nice. It's sippable. I almost think that's a wheated bourbon.
Okay. Any other guesses before we do the big reveal? Because everyone's dying to know.
Now I'm getting a little more fruit
On the nose?
on the nose. Yeah, a little like some light fruit,
Okay.
not dark.
Yeah.
The more I smell it, the more I feel like it's a weeder.
Okay.
I'm probably way off. Do you want me to guess on proof?
Give me a proof.
I'm gonna say it's maybe a little higher than what I think.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go with 103, 107, somewhere in there.
107.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And now you said weeder a couple of times. Are we dying on that hill? Are we saying, hey, I think this
I'm
is a
not
weeder?
dying on that hill. I'm just saying. Now I'm getting a little Band-Aid.
Glenn's having a stroke. Do you want to venture a guess? When you nose it, you said this smells familiar. Do you want to venture a guess of what's underneath our polka dot?
I really
gift
don't.
bag?
I can't.
It's all right to be vulnerable.
Yeah.
This is what's fun about be uncomfortable. Be vulnerable.
The nose is very familiar. I said it almost gives me wild turkey vibes. I'm also getting a little bit of funk that kind of makes me think it's got some wheat in the mash bill. I couldn't even guess. I don't know. You want me to do
the honors?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Elmer T.
Elmer T. Lee.
I picked this up yesterday at
Oh, really?
a grocery store.
Okay.
For retail.
Meyer?
Meyer.
You're kidding me.
$80.
Why do I never see? I would buy the Elmer T. Lee if I saw it, but
80
pretty cool.
bucks. I haven't had one in a while. We have actually done an episode. So let's get into how Glenn was wrong. This is a 90 proof bourbon. Let me put my notes up here. And we'll talk a little bit about Elmer, the great Elmer T. Lee. And
Well, the only thing that made me think this might be a little higher proof was that bite, which I guess is the oak. I don't know. It's like,
so if you remember way back when we started, we actually did an episode about Elmer. And interesting guy, a giant in the bourbon world and community and industry. But here lately, these bottles have become very rare and are selling for double of secondary. I mean, $180, $200. And I remember, and the bottle that we tasted when we did it is still kind of floating around, being very underwhelmed by that bottle. Now, these are single barrels.
yep.
They are mash bill number 2 from Buffalo Trace, which is their high or rye.
Okay.
There is no weed in the mash bill.
So I guess that's where the spice was coming from that I thought was.
But it is rumored, and again, Buffalo Trace doesn't tell us anything about anything. It is rumored that these are between 9 and 14 years old. So this is
That would make sense.
an older product, and that's probably why we're getting the flavor from a 90 proof bourbon out of these.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts now that you know what it is?
I think from my memory of when we tasted it last time, I didn't really care for it at all.
Yeah.
I feel like this is it's decent.
Yeah,
it's decent. I've got a bottle at home that's probably 26 years old that I've never opened.
The first release of Elmer T. Lee, you know when it was?
No.
1984, 1985, right after Elmer retired from Buffalo Trace. So it has been around for a long time. And unless you've been living under a rock or you haven't been watching So Into Bourbon, Mr. Lee, as you will call him, coined and invented single barrel bourbon.
Yes, he did.
Invented Blanton's, and then after he retired in 1984, 1985 at Buffalo Trace, they honored him with his own single barrel.
I think that was a great bottle for a blind.
I do
Because
too.
it's very
Say it.
It's very nondescript.
It is, and the whole purpose of me wanting to do this as a blind and kind of have a big reveal is, these are the bottles that people chase. These are the unicorn bottles. These are the, I have to have it, I need to have it, I don't care what it costs, I'm gonna wait in line. And what was your response to drinking it blind? Did you achieve enlightenment?
Absolutely not.
Did you say, would you rank this in the last, so we're in mid-April now.
Right.
This year, is this in the top 5 things you've drank this year?
Absolutely not. It's probably not even in the top 15.
Probably not.
Yeah.
It's
And that's not to say it's bad.
It's not to say it's bad.
It's okay.
It's a
It's decent.
fine bourbon. It's very great, but it is impossible. Well, not impossible. It's very difficult for people to pull the mystique away from the label and the bottle shape and where it comes from, and
Not a
just
lot
embrace
of
it for what it
depth
is.
of flavor.
There is not. I will tell you that usually, so we had a decent pour. First sip, I was like, okay, there's a little something there. Second sip, I was like, oh man, that oak comes through. I'm actually getting a little bit of kind of a, I don't want to say an aftertaste, but the oak hangs around for so long, I'm starting to kind of get that Band-Aid taste.
It's as you were talking, I was thinking like there is a finish, but it's not, just like I was saying before, it's not that really pleasant oak finish that you get on a lot of products.
It's a drying...
It's like a really dry, like
it's
almost a Band-Aid.
It's a dry and oaky effect. Now, we say this all the time. Your results may vary.
Absolutely.
You may have a bottle of Elmer and it may be the best, and every time you take a sip, you start crying and seeing the joy in life. That's awesome.
And it's a single barrel.
It's a single barrel, so they're all going to be a little different. But this will be the second one that I've had. And, would I buy it again at $80? Probably because of what it is. And I know this will get drank. I know that people will be excited to try it and to have it, and then they'll rant and rave about it because it is Elmer T. Lee. But, you have to take these things for what they're worth. Now, would I ever wait in line? Would I ever pay secondary for this bottle? No, I would not. I will not speak for Mr. Hockersmith. But
no, I would not.
But these are what, if you have nice bottles like this, hide them away from your friends, and then when they come over, give them to them blind, and then see what they really like.
Yeah.
So
put this up against I'd put this up against just your standard Elijah Craig 90 proof.
Now here's where it gets fun, kids. I wouldn't say we've trashed this.
No,
we have not trashed it. We said it's a fine sipping bourbon. It's 90 proof. Maybe it's just not in our wheelhouse. But what's going to be really fun when we do another high end blind and throw this one in here, just like we did with those old granddads, to see. Okay, now a double blind. Neither of us know what we're drinking. Let's see if we feel the same way, because tastes change, as you guys pointed out. 100%. And if you haven't watched that episode, go back and watch the episode of the old granddad, the Knob Creek, and the Remus blind. It's a fun one. It's super embarrassing, and we're very uncomfortable about it.
Nothing to be embarrassed about.
Super.
Speaking of that, the Knob Creek 18 is what we picked, right? Which we both didn't care for before. Saw the other day that Knob Creek is putting out a 21-year-old 100 proof product, which people are going to bitch about that again, right?
It'll probably be $400.
And it will probably be $400. But I'm interested to try that because I feel like you're kind of pushing, the
21 years.
You were pushing the oak boundaries on the 18, right?
21 years that's
a long time.
That's an old bottle. But yeah, the last thing I'll say about Elmer is, if anybody deserves to have his likeness and his name on a bottle, it's Elmer T. Lee. The guy invented the premium bourbon category. None of this exists without Colonel. Is he a Colonel? I think he is.
Is he a Colonel?
Without Mr. Lee.
He's probably a Kentucky Colonel, right?
Yeah, I would think so. But a really interesting guy. Died just shy of his 94th birthday. Was still doing single barrel picks at Buffalo Trace, well into his 90s, and was a great ambassador for bourbon. World War II vet. Started actually when it was the George T. Stagg Distillery. So he predates and worked before it was the Buffalo Trace Distillery. So pour one out for
if
Elmer.
you have a bourbon Mount Everest, I'm pretty sure he would be on it. And E.H. Taylor. And
him, Colonel Taylor, Van Winkles.
Elijah Craig.
Remember, we don't know if Elijah Craig was really, but he's on there. Like he's firmly on there. So just remember that. Like we see these pictures and we're like, oh, that guy lived a long time. He passed in 2013. Like he's a modern bourbon.
Wait a minute. And this is rumored to be between 9 and how many years old?
9 and.
So it's a possibility he could have had a hand in producing this?
Well, he wasn't actively working at the distillery. He was master distiller. No, I'm not going to say that this is a lot. Dude, come on, let's be real. Like, oh no, wait, this is the last barrel he saw. He saw it. He went home and
if you would like to own this.
Yeah, I'll sell it to you for what I paid for it. But no, it's still fun. Again, it's hard not to be romantic about bourbon when you put somebody's name like that who has done so much. Like, I get the hype and I get it. But at the end of the day, it's what's on the inside that counts.
With that being said, Charlie, why don't you tell them what to do?
Like and subscribe here on YouTube for more hard-hitting and life-changing content like this.
Yes, absolutely. And follow us on Instagram and Facebook and all those things if you want to. If you don't,
we're not the boss.
Yeah, we're not the boss. But most importantly, you want to keep those wallets loose.
And your bungholes ever so tight. Good night, everybody.
Peace out.
Elmer T. Lee. You know what his dad's name was? Ernest T. Lee.
Ernest T. Lee.
Ernest T. Lee, you get in here.
Ernest T. Lee.
Tell me you're from Kentucky without telling me you're from Kentucky. Hairline is just in business for itself, man. I don't know what's happening. You don't need those.
I know.
Step aside.
Don't tell me what I need and what I don't need. Check.
Check.
Check. Check.
Don't say anything. Be quiet. Check. Check, check, check. Check, check, check. My mic's not connected, so we'll have to fix it when you come out.
Oh my gosh.
Go.